Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Luis Angel. I'm a worship pastor by day and a Christian apologist by night. Today we'll be looking at why a good God would allow suffering and the atheist response to this question. Let's talk. The problem of suffering and evil is not a problem only for the Christian. Every worldview must offer up an answer, even atheism. So the real question is, who provides the best answer? If any worldview is going to successfully tackle this question, they need to answer it in two ways. First, is the answer to suffering logically consistent? And second, is the answer emotionally compelling? Both must be addressed. After all, who wants logic when the heart is broken? In times of pain, we often ask the question, why? But in that moment, what we often need the most is an arm around our shoulder and somebody telling us it's going to be okay. The head, as well as the heart, both need to be satisfied with any potential answer. At face value, many worldviews, like atheism, appear to have an answer to this question, but are their answers logically consistent and emotionally compelling? This week, we'll briefly look at atheism. After all, if God doesn't exist, the question still needs to be answered. So atheism, what you got? Well, it just so happens that world-famous atheist Richard Dawkins, an evolutionary biologist out of Oxford University, was asked about this question about pain and suffering, and here's what he said. The total amount of suffering per year in the natural world is beyond all decent contemplation. In a universe of electrons and selfish genes, blind physical forces, and genetic replication, some people are going to get hurt, and other people are going to get lucky, and you won't find any rhyme or reason to it, nor any justice. The universe that we observe has precisely the properties that we should expect to find if at bottom there is no design, no hope, no evil, no good, nothing but pitiless indifference. He also goes on to say that DNA neither knows nor cares, it just dances to its music. So is this answer logically consistent? Well, not as much as my atheist friends would hope. Many atheists turned away from God because they couldn't believe that a good God would create a world with so much evil and suffering. But Richard Dawkins just stated that as an atheist, there is no such thing as good or evil, nothing but pitiless indifference. Okay, atheism, you can't have it both ways. You can't say on the one hand that evil really doesn't exist, and then on the other hand, say that God's a moral monster because there's so much evil in the world. Atheism appears to be logically inconsistent in answering this question. But is the answer emotionally compelling? Again, the answer is no. Remember, according to atheist Richard Dawkins, there is no design, no purpose, no evil, no good, nor any justice. And look, this last point is a hard pill to swallow. Atheism doesn't provide humanity with any sense of ultimate justice. I mean, just think about all the people in the last century who were murdered by Mao's China, Stalin's Russia, or Hitler's Germany. Millions of people who died brutally, and none of them will ever receive ultimate justice for the crimes against them if atheism is true. But atheism doesn't seem to make any sense of the world around us. I mean, humans desire justice. We know that real evil and real good exists. And if there really isn't true purpose to our lives, then why do millions of humans care about finding purpose? If it's true that our DNA neither knows nor cares, then what prompts our desire to know and to care? My atheist friends, hear me out. Many of you, for deep personal reasons, slammed the door of Christianity and have never looked back. And I gotta say, I don't judge you for it. The problem of evil is a big freaking problem. And in a season of pain, it's hard to understand why a good God would allow suffering. But not believing in God doesn't take the pain away. G.K. Chesterton once said, when belief in God becomes difficult, the tendency is to turn away from him. But in heaven's name, to what? In the midst of suffering and pain, many people have turned away from God, but in the process turned toward a worldview that provided intellectually inferior answers and nothing but emotional emptiness. This is not how humanity was meant to live. But if atheism is true, there's no real evil. There's no real good. Now, is that the best explanation for the world that we see around us? Let me know in the comments below. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. Remember that this video is one of many that will come in the hopes to answer the question, why suffering, from different religious worldviews. So we'll be looking at atheism, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and all the other isms. So tune in next week as we discover what Christianity's answer is for the problem of evil and suffering in the world. Thanks for watching. See you next week.